Good afternoon. My name is John Folk, and I am the Associate Dean of Medical Education. It is my honor to serve as your Grand Marshal on this significant day to celebrate the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance as you graduate from Wright State University's Boonshoft School of Medicine. Will the marshals please escort the platform party to their seats? Will the marshal please escort members of the faculty to their places? Will the marshals please escort the graduates to their places? The 44th Annual Wright State University Boonshoft School of Medicine graduation ceremony will now begin. Please rise as you are able for the national anthem, performed today by Boonshoft's own a cappella choir, Boonshoft.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Mary Lader, Associate Dean of Student Affairs and Admissions. It is my great privilege to welcome you today and say to our students of medicine, congratulations. You have dedicated yourselves for many years to achieve this goal today. Today, as we celebrate the 44th Boonshoft School of Medicine graduation, we thank the staff, the faculty, both full-time and voluntary, and our community for helping our students and our school succeed. But family and friends of our graduates, you also deserve great thanks for the many types of support that you've provided. We applaud you. I would also like to welcome our special guests who we are honored to have with us this afternoon. I ask our guests to please stand as they are able when their name is called, and everyone please hold their applause until all of our guests have been introduced. Dr. Gregory Toussaint, Interim Dean of Wright State University School of Medicine, who is also our speaker for this afternoon. Dr. Ngozi Anachabe, Wright State University Boonshoft School of Medicine Vice Dean of Educational Affairs. Dr. Susan Edwards, President of Wright State University. Greg Sample, Wright State University Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. We are also honored to have with us today members of the Wright State University Board of Trustees, including Chair Tom Gunlock and Director of Government Affairs and Secretary to the Board of Trustees, Daniel Palmer. Welcome also to our department chairs and other associate deans, executive staff, and faculty who are with us today. And now, please welcome our Interim Dean of Boonshoft School of Medicine, Gregory Toussaint, to offer his remarks.
What's next? Good afternoon, everyone. For those parents, grandparents, siblings, family members, friends, spouses, and partners, everyone else that's here, welcome. All of you came to see these characters that you know in some form or fashion. They are our class of 2024. For the class of 2024, no more calendar, 120 minutes. Today's events are also not just for graduates. Today is for all of you in the audience in recognition of the support you have afforded these learners along their long, convoluted, and often more than challenging paths to reach this point. Medical school curricula teaches knowledge, clinical skills. It's the same no wherever you go. Today is for all of you because, well, all of this stuff gained them a skill. It is the values, the work ethic, the integrity, the personal resilience and grit that you built into them that will make them the kind of person that is the physician we are sending out. For that, I thank all of you. So at my 5 o'clock position is this individual, President Sue Edwards. That's the big number one, as we say here at Wright State. I, on behalf of the medical school, want to thank you, ma'am, for your leadership in steering this institution to where it is now and your unswerving support for Boonshoft School of Medicine. So that's from us to you. All right, she knows that. All right, graduates. When you came to us in the summer of 2020, COVID pandemic was a human wildfire. TV news had daily updates of the death count around the world. All kinds of stuff was happening. Essential workers and PPE became household terms, and risks most never thought of were now in the public consciousness. And amidst this, you stepped forward, made a commitment in the midst of this to begin the journey to become what you start today as physicians. When you came, you were outstanding in your field. Oh, wait a minute. We had you standing in our athletic field in a carefully spaced class picture with sprayed circles on the grass, socially distanced, and that's how you came. Your white coat, oh, you put that on at home. You picked up a box carefully sanitized with your stethoscope, and then you started. You have met challenges along the way. Remote learning, masks, face shields, PPE, nasal test swabs that you probably lost track of, right? All right. Now, residencies await. For the audience, the wands have chosen the wizards. Some of you are moving away. Some of you are moving back home. Some are leaving Boonshoft with a partner or a spouse that you never thought you would when you got here. Some of you are leaving with more children than you came with. Go Aaron, right? And some of you are leaving carrying one as well. And for all of you, the next adventure is about to begin. All yours, ma'am.
Good afternoon, graduates. This is a very special day. It's a very special day for a number of reasons. Today, you join a profession that has a major impact on our world each and every minute of each and every day. And as Dean Toussaint said, you arrived here when the world was in chaos. And you persisted, and you chose to remain in a field that was, by all means, a war place at that time. But I think what the world always shows us is that science always sees us through, and that science is constantly changing and evolving so that we can meet the challenges that faces each and every day. So my challenge to you is twofold. One, never lose sight of the science behind what you do. Always seek to gain more information than you could ever have. Never rest on your laurels. And the second is, whilst always challenging yourself to be thinking and to be learning something new so that you can be there for the most important people that you care for each and every day, that being your parents, your patients. Your patience. Do not lose sight of compassion. Do not lose sight of your empathy. And most importantly, do not ever lose sight of yourselves. Care for yourselves as you would care for your patients. Take time to reset when you need to reset. The roads will continue to be bumpy, but the resilience, the grit, and the determination that you have shown to get to today are skill sets that are going to stay with you for the rest of your lives. So, class of 2024, go forth and be absolutely brilliant. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Edwards. I am now pleased to introduce Tanaya Rones, President of the Class of 2024.
Good afternoon. My name is Tanaya Roan Alote, and it is an honor to speak before President Edwards, our speaker, Dr. Toussaint, faculty, staff, alumni, mentors, and cherished family and friends who have shaped the class that I am so proud to represent, Class of 2024. As I reflect on the past 4 years of this journey, I am filled with immense gratitude for the moments that have challenged us to grow and molded us into the next generation of physician leaders. We are the class who entered the world of medicine during the height of a global pandemic that has and continues to change the landscape of clinical practice as we knew it. However, in all of this, we have learned the importance and power of community, realizing that caring for your neighbor is caring for yourself. When I look at the faces in front of me, I am transported back to times of us banding together to take exams in our TBL groups, and sometimes retaking exams, supporting each other through individual health challenges, and making our voices heard during unpredictable institutional changes. We've been through a lot together, y'all, but we made it. I am so proud of the way we forged strong bonds amongst us despite our first 2 years confined to being online. As we take the next steps from these familiar grounds to new clinical territory, let us not forget the value of being intentional about building community. May we find joy in cultivating new relationships, drawing wisdom from mentors and fellow residents, and continue to learn from the diverse tapestry of patients we serve. To my fellow graduates, just as many of you have challenged me in my role as your class president, I implore you, continue to seize every opportunity to make your voice heard. Make good trouble and continue to occupy the spaces that beckon your brilliance. Our journey thus far is but a prologue to the transformative impact we are poised to make in the realm of healthcare and beyond. So whether you're on hour 27 of your first 28-hour call, frantically searching up to date for that treatment algorithm that you once knew forwards and backwards, or wondering how in the world you are going to keep going, may you remember every single thing that you achieved over the past 4 years here at Boonshoft. And remember that you can achieve whatever it is that you set your mind to. Thank you and congratulations. And now Sarah Noble from the class of 2024 will introduce our guest speaker.
Hi, everybody. I have the honor of introducing Dr. Gregory Toussaint. He is near and dear to all of our hearts. I think anybody in this class would tell you he's been there for us from the beginning. He's just been, the one true person standing behind us and always advocating on our behalf. So just a little bit about him. Dr. Gregory Toussaint became interim dean of Wright State University Boonshoft School of Medicine on August 14th, 2023. He originally joined the Boonshoft School of Medicine in 2005 after a nearly 34-year career with the U.S. Air Force. As Associate Dean for Clinical Skills Education and a member of the Department of Pediatrics, Dr. Toussaint is involved with teaching during all 4 years of the medical school curriculum. Previously, he was Assistant Dean and Director of Admissions in the Office of Student Affairs and Admissions and Director of the Pediatrics Clerkship at the School of Medicine. He also served as Medical Director for Inpatient General Pediatrics at Dayton Children's Hospital. After graduating from the U.S. Air Force Academy, he received his medical degree from Virginia Commonwealth University. He completed a pediatric residency at the Air Force's Wilford Hall Hospital in San Antonio, and later a fellowship in general academic pediatrics at Boston Children's Hospital. In addition to positions as a general pediatrician or medical staff chief at Air Force facilities in the United States and overseas, he served 3 tours as commander of forward deployed combat support field hospitals for operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. Under his leadership, the medical school's Skills Assessment and Training Center received Wright State's 2021 President's Award for Excellence, Outstanding Unit. Dr. Toussaint is the recipient of multiple teaching awards from each academic medicine institution where he was faculty. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gregory Toussaint.
You remember, to all you 24s, to be afforded this opportunity is both humbling and a little daunting. I will express my profound gratitude for it and hope that I do not disappoint and I can meet your expectations. So, other than our dual degree graduates, for whom I lose track, right? Not quite 4 years ago, you arrived at Boonshoft as a physician wannabe, right? 3 years ago, you were sweating through the upcoming Staying Alive final and the physical exam skills OSCE, a year's worth of clerkships, a bunch of senior electives, and whew, now your residency is locked. Good stuff, old history. All that matters is 57 days. Because that is when those nurses who are looking for the intern are looking for you, doctor. And today, you cease being students. Instead, you become our graduates and colleagues in the profession of medicine. For you families, these are no longer the individuals that you sent to us. They stand at the edge of, my opinion, it is the most incredible leap of their adult life, from medical school to residency. The other 6 medical schools in Ohio all will churn out their classes of 2024 as well. All are larger, and none are better. This medical school, with its faculty, curriculum, and community of clinical sites, turns out exceptional physicians. Superb clinical skills, people interaction, they will blow the doors off their residencies regardless of specialty and where they go. You and they have every reason to be proud, because we all are. It has been quite the ride. So as you heard, in my role as one of the clinical medicine faculty, I have been with them through every simulated patient encounter, physical exam skill station, boot camp and clerkship, objective structured clinical examinations, the OSCEs. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, those OSCEs, yes, with their sweat-producing, heart-racing, lingering memories of, students, you may begin the encounter. And my personal favorite, you have 2 minutes remaining. To have this job in that role is an inordinate privilege, because we see them at the beginning of their first year, when they are whining because they only have 30 minutes to do the interview and we don't give them this crib sheet for the review assistant. And now, we send them in to build a history, do an exam, explain to the patient, these simulated patients, what they think is going on, and tell them what the workup's going to be in 15 minutes. And that is an amazing transformation to watch. They have endured from me no end of one-liners, urgings, pointed feedback, and likely some admonishments en route to becoming a physician. Yeah. You ever wonder why you should never tell secrets while you're standing in the garden? Ever thought about that? It is simply because the potatoes have eyes, the corn has ears, and the beans talk. Okay, that's a poor bad dad joke, but anyway, what can I say? So the real question is, when does a joke become a bad dad joke? And the answer is when it becomes apparent. All right. They had to go put all of us, right? So this afternoon, they have afforded me one last shot at their education. So I shall focus on the number 5, as in 5 rules. The concept is not mine, although they all heard it when they came through the pediatric clerkship. Now that was 1 or 2 years ago, depending upon who you are, so this is spaced learning in the ultimate. The rules are actually from Lieutenant Colonel Gary Benedetti, a trauma fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeon who was assigned to the combat support hospital I was in charge of in 2002, when we deployed right away in support of Special Operations Forces going into Afghanistan. Dr. Benedetti, now out of the Air Force and practicing in Duluth, Minnesota, remember he's an adult orthopedic fellowship trauma guy, right? Referred to these as the 5 rules of Now, since I do not use non-pediatric words, I refer to them as the 5 rules of poop. So, here we go. Rule 1, give a poop. This is the most important of the 5 and the fundamental rule to being any physician worth their salt. Every day you go home, I believe there should be at least one patient you worry about, the one that gnaws at you, where you think, did I do the right thing? What have I missed? What else could it be? That feeling keeps us sharp and makes us stay ahead of our patient's disease and suffering. There are no duty hour restrictions on caring, and certainly no substitute for kindness. This unflinching concern for others and the willingness to place their need above your own are what distinguish the true physician from a generic licensed independent practitioner. At some point in your career, there will come a point when you can no longer reliably feel this and meet this. That's okay. But at that point, it's time to get out of clinical medicine because you have to do something else. No one dares lose that edge in clinical medicine. It really is all about the patient. Do right by the patient, and you will never do wrong. Rule 2, know your poop. If our patients, don't worry, the audience can't hear this. If they knew how much we don't know, they'd be terrified. You dare not function with what you have learned in medical school and what you will learn in residency. Fear is a powerful motivator. Fear of not knowing and letting down your patient because you assumed what someone else told you was correct, instead of looking up the evidence yourself, because you trusted and did not verify. The first priority in developing a differential is to think about those diagnoses the patient cannot afford you to miss. And the only diagnosis you will never make is the one you don't think of. On about the third day of residency, come July, you'll decide you are the dumbest intern in this residency program, in the history of that program, actually, and that its director probably did, in fact, take a charity case this year. And you will be wrong, because you have learned far more than you realize. All right, I'm going to go off script here for a second. Check the glucose. Has anyone checked the glucose? At least one penguin didn't fall off the iceberg. It is that important. You need to be the one to think of what other people do not. That's what your patient demands. You must also impart what you learn to others. Patients and families need to understand their conditions, what is necessary to prevent or manage them. That's a given. When you grow up and you become faculty in or practice near a medical school, pay it forward. Honor those who did so for you by taking learners under your wing. To those medical students who'll be clinging to this July, how am I doing, Dr. Barnhurst? How am I doing? How am I doing? And you say, oh, I hope I wasn't like that. All right? But think about them. Never, ever forget it was like to be a third-year medical student. You are already a walking, talking textbook. You know more than they do, and you can pass that on. You have plenty to offer, and apologies to any grammar teachers in the audience, you cannot not teach. Never forget that. Take time to explain. Show them where the restrooms are, all right? Treat them as the student physicians you once were. Ooh, is that a bad sentence? All right, rule 3, work like poop. You can substitute the word if you prefer. You have not chosen the shorter path or an easier life. For the past few years here at Boonshoft, along with a ton of your money, has come the privilege to spend more time studying and working than these people here ever expected. Your reward now comes as more years of working even harder, and more weekends, and more holidays, although finally, someone will pay you to do that. Those family and friends in the audience know how much time, effort, and emotional energy you have invested to get where you are, for they have invested it too. Work like poop is not about living in the hospital or shutting out the rest of your life. Rather, it is meeting our obligations and duty as a physician and knowing these times will clash between personal and family events and expectations. What it means is when you are the one responsible, do your job. Forget this, and bad things happen, often quickly. When the bleeding won't stop, a patient's last mental defenses are crumbling, the pregnant mother's heart rate is rising as that of the little human inside is dropping, or a patient's final breaths quiet the entire room, someone must be there for them. Focus your mind and your being on the job at hand. The most important patient is the one in front of you. They deserve your absolute best effort. That quality rests in all of you. However, shortcut your physical exam, copy and paste fluff into a worthless note, or order tests instead of thinking critically, and that stirring in the force and the hot breath you feel on the neck is me and the rest of us saying, you know better. Leadership by example is not confined to just higher-ups, and it certainly does not arise from email. You cannot expect a standard of behavior from others you do not hold to yourself. People listen to what you say, they watch how you conduct yourself, and they see how you treat others. And it starts day one of residency. Secure texting and the electronic medical record are potential death blows to physician-nurse communication. And remember, doctors don't keep you alive, nurses do. Visibility is credibility. Log out of that eye patient, get off your butt, and go listen to the patient and those caring for them. Please remember that listen has the same letters as the word silent. Right? You will learn way more than scrolling through that electronic health record, and its secondary effects will play out in ways you cannot imagine. Rule 4. Rule 4 is take no poop. In your role as a physician, there will be times when you must speak for those who cannot. To step forward, draw a line in the sand, and advocate on behalf of a patient. What I submit is your ability to make this happen depends upon your reputation and the street cred you have built by how others see you following rules 1, 2, and 3. Your actions mold how they view you and then decide whether or not they're willing to afford you the implicit authority needed to make things happen. It is better to set the bar than look up at it. Go do that. Rule 5 is very simple. Poop happens. Sometimes in medicine, we do everything right and the patient still dies. That's life. But what this rule implies is never, ever let that occur because you failed your patient by not following something in rules 1 through 4. Then it's on us. So, 5 rules of poop. One more time, me to you. Give, no, work, take no, and it happens, right? Consider them, follow them, teach them to others. So you leave Boonshoft for the title of MD and the privilege of having patients and their family members look you in the eye and say, well, you're the doctor. Probably going to happen tonight on the way home, right? That level of trust is daunting to the point of scary, and it means the world. You experience this a bit as students, and it starts for real as a resident. However, what has taken years to earn can take but moments to lose. Professional misconduct is not just prescription fraud, billing scams, or inappropriate behaviors. It starts with simply saying you told the nurse to do something when you did not. You used a pick list to point and click and document something you did not do. Or quickly documenting just what it is, or reading through a student or a junior resident note that you didn't really read through. Your actions and conduct are how patients, ancillary staff, fellow residents, faculty, and everyone you come in contact with will judge you. Mess this up, and no amount of clinical knowledge, surgical skill, or engaging personality will save you, for others will not trust you, and your patients will suffer. Professional integrity has no room for compromise. Hopefully some of this sticks in your brains. I'll close with what must stick in your heart. You must also care for yourself. No physician can muster the effort and emotional energy our patients need from us without being grounded themselves. So use those swipe cards for nutritious foods, exercise, feed your mental and spiritual health, sleep when you can. For you families, especially if this is the first physician in yours, residency is long, and it is hard, and it's supposed to be, right? Because you only train once. But what they need is your support, even when they do not recognize it. I would submit to you, call them, text them mercilessly until they answer and they talk to you, even if those fancy words they're using make no sense at all. Just, I see, right, works. In 2003, then Captain, now Lieutenant Colonel Ellen Wirtz, was the social worker in the Combat Stress Center of the hospital unit that I was in charge of, deployed for the invasion of Iraq. Ellen taught me a different rule. What she said was, you alone can do it, but you cannot do it alone. So be there for someone else. Use that open-ended question, look them in the eye and say, how are you doing? Let another be there for you. To someone in this grand arena, you are their everything, and they should be yours. So, class of 2024, congratulations and well done. A little more of the torch has just passed. It has been an honor to share in the journey, right? And this afternoon, help hand a little bit of that off to you. So, thank you.
I would like to welcome Deja Geiger, a member of the class of 2024, to come present the class gift. Dr. Toussaint.
Oh, okay. Happy graduation day. So every year the graduates decide on a gift to give to the rising classes. And on behalf of the class of 2024, we have decided to gift the following classes with a new coffee maker for the student lounge. As many of you know, having a good coffee maker is essential to the medical school classes, as we don't get much sleep. So I wasn't a coffee drinker, but I probably could have been sleeping on 3 to 4 hours a night. They probably would have helped. So we're going to gift a new coffee maker to the classes, and then we're also going to donate the rest of the money to the student council. And we hope that you guys are able to use that. I hope the contribution is helpful, and we look forward to seeing what you guys do in the upcoming years.
I will say thank you on behalf of those that follow behind you. I'm going to guess that coffee maker is probably going to be behind the door that my swipe card doesn't work at. Just wondering. So anyway, thank you very much. They will love it.
Now please welcome Shola Alalua from the class of 2024 to present Community Appreciation Award. Shola.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for being here. Each year, the graduating class recognizes an individual or organization that has made a significant contribution to the Wright State University Boonshoft School of Medicine. Today, we honor Mercer County Health and Grand Lake Health Systems. Will Martin Sheehan from Mercer County Health and Cindy Burning from Grand Lake Health Systems please come to the podium to accept your award? Since the inception of our rural health program in 2013, Mercer Health and Grand Lake Health Systems have exhibited unwavering support, contributing significantly to its success. They have facilitated medical students' clinical rotations and electives within their health systems, providing one-on-one learning experiences and mentorship. Additionally, they have actively supported local rural students in pursuing careers in medicine through various means, including volunteer and shadowing opportunities, paid work opportunities, summer internship programs for pre-medical students, and initiatives like the Summer Camp Med for high school students. The physicians, leadership, and support staff at these health systems have gone above and beyond by providing individualized attention and mentorship to our medical students. Their commitment extends to endorsing all Wright State University Boonshoft School of Medicine rural health endeavors and supporting rural communities surrounding the Lake Campus region. Thank you so much from the class of 2024. I would now like to introduce Olubusala Oshunsanya, class of 2024, to present this year's Teaching Excellence Award.
Good afternoon, fellow doctors, colleagues, friends, and family. Over the last 20 years, students at Boonshoft have had the opportunity to nominate faculty members who exhibit a strong commitment to teaching while serving as a role model to students, residents, and colleagues for faculty awards. These annual awards highlight the importance of teaching within the school, as well as recognizing those who have excelled in this responsibility. This year, I have the pleasure of presenting the Teaching Excellence Award to a faculty member who has been very integral in my journey here at BSOM. The Teaching Excellence Award is presented by students to the teaching faculty member who displayed outstanding professional skill and pride in discharging their instructional duties. This year's recipient is Dr. Gregory Toussaint. From the start of our tenure, Dr. Toos, as we like to call him, was devoted to making us great clinicians. Tell me more. His go-to line in patient encounters that we heard 100 times throughout our first week of classes soon became a favorite among students as we used it during exams, in the clinic, and in the hospitals. Many of times, I sat in Dr. Toos's office reviewing OSCE vetoes because points were taken off for tests I clearly performed. I know y'all understand. After intense stare downs and a review of skills, I never got my points back. But I did learn a good lesson. Going into clinicals and then onto away rotations One thing I was always proud to hear during interviews was how skilled and clinically competent we Boonshoft students are. I take pride in knowing that we had Dr. Tooth. He pushed us to be better and was dedicated to making sure we reached our full potential. And here we are now, the best. Before I end this speech, let me leave everyone with one of Dr. Tooth's staples, a dad joke. Where do fruits go on vacation? Paris. Thank you, Dr. Tooth, for the endless laughs and the opportunity to learn from you. Please help me in congratulating him on receiving the Teaching Excellence Award.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Alabasola. And now, Interim Dean Toussaint will announce the recipients of the Dean's Award and other honors. Your turn.
It's beyond incredible. All right. One of the privileges of being the interim dean is the opportunity to present what our medical school terms the Dean's Award to a graduating senior. This award recognizes a student of medicine who demonstrates a commitment to academic excellence, embodies empathy, compassion toward others, exemplifies personal integrity and professionalism, and has earned the respect and trust of classmates and faculty. There's an entire group of individuals before us today, but the award can only be for one. Impressive words, big shoes, leadership by example, selfless and altruistic attitude, giving to others without seeking or even any consideration of gain for themselves. This individual is all that and way more. You ask these peers, who would you most like at your side in a medical emergency? Who has the best listening skills for patients? Who would you want as a doctor for themselves or a loved one? This student's name came up again and again and again. Respect and trust of one's colleagues. Not much greater recognition than that. So this year's Dean's Award goes to Yanel Ramirez. Pretty cool. I also have the privilege of using the bully pulpit, thank you, Dr. Lader, to talk about another one of my roles at Boonshoft, and that is my Air Force Colonel retired persona, because I serve as the advisor for our students who attend medical school on a scholarship from one of the 3 branches of the U.S. military with the Medical Corps. They will repay the American taxpayers for this scholarship by serving time on active duty after their residency programs. As I say, you take the Queen's money, you do the Queen's bidding. Early this morning, we held a promotion and recommissioning ceremony for the 5 that we have in the class of 2024 and would like to recognize them. All of our graduates are moving on to serve patients, families, and society as physicians. These individuals have also volunteered to do so in the service of this nation. So, as I call your name, please rise. United States Army Captain David Fields. United States Navy Lieutenant Isabel Ely. United States Navy Lieutenant Hollis Young. United States Air Force Captain now Kevash Hassani. And United States Air Force Captain Mackenzie Mathis. Well done. Head back to you, ma'am. I have more. Okay. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Here it comes. Get ready. And now, Dr. Edwards, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who have completed all requirements for the Doctor of Medicine degree and are worthy of this distinction.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Medicine degree please rise? Graduates, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the Doctor of Medicine degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
It is now time for the hooding ceremony. Faculty and relative hooders, please take your places. The members of the hooding faculty, Dr. Paul Colas, Dr. Mark Rich, and Vice Dean Dr. Ngozi Anachabe were selected by the class of 2024. In recognition of their dedication to excellence in teaching and leadership to participate in the hooding ceremony as honored faculty. Marshals, will you please lead the graduates to the platform? Doctors Jernell and O'Malley were selected to serve as marshals in today's ceremony. After each student is hooded, they will receive their diploma from Dr. Toussaint, then proceed to the Registry of Graduates and sign their name with the title MD for the first time. Each graduate is also given a Wright State University Boonshoft School of Medicine pen engraved with their name and degree, courtesy of the Dean's Office. I would like to remind the audience to feel free to applaud loudly when graduates' names are announced. Exactly like that. I would like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Erica Taylor, Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, will now call the graduates.
Thank you. It's my pleasure and honor to call the names of the roll. Each individual will be called for the very first time as doctor, as their degrees have been conferred, and we will also acknowledge if they have a family hooder, the name of the hooder as well. For the very first time, Dr. Najma Nuruddin Abdullahi, hooded by her mentor, Dr. Kevin Watt. Dr. Nakachi Kumsi Agu, hooded by her husband, Emmanuel Agu. Dr. Emmanuel Agu. Oh, yay. Dr. Timitayo Akasale. Faculty holder. Dr. Roselle Bea Pina Almazan, hooded by her brother, Dr. Eugene Matthew Almazan. Dr. Jacob Henderson Almeida, hooded by his grandfather, Dr. Jack Henderson. Dr. Kiavash Darren Asani, hooded by his mentor, Dr. Daniel Perchero. Dr. Christian Safu Asamudu, hooded by Dr. Ngozi Anachabe. Dr. Olatunde Hafiz Basharon, also hooded by Dr. Ngozi Anachabe. Dr. Anachabe, you may stand up here one more time. One more time. Dr. Colette Alexa Beard-Bauman, hooded by Dr. Ngozi Anachabe. Dr. Lauren Beckmeyer, hooded by her mentor, Dr. Timothy Worms. Dr. Danielle Bornhorst, hooded by faculty. Dr. Lindsay Boyd, hooded by faculty. Dr. Christian Bradford, hooded by faculty. Dr. Garrett Britton, hooded by his father, Dr. Rick Britton, and mother, Dr. Bhairavi Patel Britton. Dr. Jared Burkert, hooded by his father, Dr. Thomas Burkert. Dr. Natalie Castillo, hooded by faculty. Dr. Christian Chong, hooded by faculty. Dr. Abigail Clark, hooded by her father, Dr. Michael Clark. Dr. Ashley Clark, hooded by faculty. Dr. Megan Colligan Cleary, who has also received her master's in pharmacology toxicology while she was here at WSU, will be hooded by faculty. Dr. Khadijah Collins, hooded by faculty. Dr. Andrew Carell, hooded by his father, Dr. Terry Carell. Dr. Andrea Costin, hooded by Dr. Christopher Costin. Dr. Kirsten Craig, hooded by her father, Dr. Paul Craig. Dr. Maura Karan, hooded by faculty. Dr. Gisela Driet Saltos, hooded by faculty. Dr. Twice, Dr. Egby Egafor, hooded by her husband, Dr. Kelvin Uafor, and Dr. Oyoyo Sawyer, sister. Dr. Isabel Ely, hooded by faculty. Dr. Lauren Ferguson, hooded by faculty. Dr. David Fields, hooded by faculty. Dr. Carly Fisher, hooded by faculty. Dr. Umu Fofana, hooded by her mentor, Dr. Ngozi Anachibe. Dr. Elizabeth Fonte, hooded by faculty. Dr. Jenna Franz, hooded by faculty. Dr. Timothy Fromeyer, also receiving his master's in pharmacology toxicology, hooded by his grandfather, Dr. Narciso Abarracin. Dr. Reed Ferschmidt, hooded by faculty. Dr. Monica George, hooded by her father, Dr. David George. Dr. Daisha Geiger, hooded by faculty. Dr. Michael Gilbert, who also received his master's in pharmacology and toxicology while here, being hooded by faculty. Dr. Alex Gilman, hooded by his mentor, Dr. Brittany Starman. Dr. Mira Grochich, hooded by faculty. Dr. Chloe Grove, hooded by faculty. Dr. Farah Eve Hagblum, hooded by her mentor, Dr. Mark Raslich. Dr. Michael Trent Harrington, hooded by faculty. Dr. Ihab Hasuna, hooded by faculty. Dr. Christian Hawkins, hooded by faculty. Dr. Donald Heffelfinger, hooded by his mother, Dr. Lydia Hernandez. Dr. Sarah Hyatt, hooded by faculty. Dr. Ashley Hughes, hooded by her sister, Dr. Aisha Frazier. Dr. Clara Joseph, hooded by faculty. Dr. Meha Joshi, who also received her master's in public health while here at Wright State, hooded by faculty. Dr. Hannah Kaufman, hooded by faculty. Dr. Sabrina Call, hooded by her mother, Dr. Pamposh Call, and father, Dr. Ajay Call. Hold on. I'd like to turn your attention to the floor. We're going to do a hooding of Dr. Benjamin Kleeman, hooded by his, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Dr. John Kierfort, hooded by his father, Dr. Jeffrey Kierfort. And now, Dr. Benjamin Kleeman, hooded by his father, Dr. Steve Kleeman. Dr. Hillary Kleppel, hooded by faculty. Dr. Maria Labello, hooded by her fiance, Dr. John DeModica. Dr. Bryce Linkus. Dr. Janet Lubov, who also received her master's in pharmacology and toxicology while here, hooded by her mother, Dr. Patricia Kanambi. Dr. Taylor Malco, hooded by her mentor, Dr. Daniel Pachero. Dr. Alexis Marin, who also received her MPH here at Wright State, hooded by faculty. Dr. Mackenzie Mathis, hooded by faculty. Dr. Riandra McCullough Roach, hooded by faculty. Dr. Samantha McKnight, hooded by her brother-in-law, Dr. Pierre Villagance. Dr. Julie DeSosa McTierman, hooded by her mother, Dr. Allison Clark D'Souza. Dr. Taryn Michelle Mickens, who also received her master's in public health here at Wright State, hooded by her sister, Dr. Chioma Bush. Dr. Victoria Murray, hooded by her mother, Dr. Mary Murray. Dr. Maniv Agarwal Nanda, hooded by faculty. Dr. Jermel Newman, hooded by Dr. Ngozi Anachabe. Dr. Sarah Noble, hooded by faculty. Dr. Shola Olaoluwa, hooded by her mentor, Dr. Daniel Purcell. Dr. Elena O'Rourke, hooded by Dr. Ngozi Anachibe. Dr. Stephanie Omaleko, hooded by faculty. Dr. Olabasola Oshunosuna, hooded by her aunt Inola Aduadu, sorry. Dr. Alex Oxner, hooded by his mother, Kathleen Oxner. Dr. Kathleen Oxner. Dr. Courtney Payne, hooded by faculty. Dr. Amanda Peck, hooded by her father, Dr. Alan Peck, and her sister, Dr. Gabrielle Riven. Dr. Allison Peebles, hooded by faculty. Dr. Elizabeth Polio, hooded by faculty. Dr. Fahad Karashi, who also received his Master's in Business Administration and is hooded by faculty. Dr. Yanil Ramirez, hooded by faculty. Dr. Emma Rapus, hooded by her husband, Dr. Stephen Rapus. Dr. Tanaya J. Rowe, hooded by her sister, Dr. Taylor Carter. Dr. Joseph Rizzo, Jr., hooded by faculty. Dr. Sammy Roberts, hooded by her cousin, Dr. John Dundon. Dr. Nicholas Rachin, hooded by faculty. Dr. Isaac Schott, hooded by faculty. Dr. Catherine Scribner, hooded by her mother, Dr. Judith Kennedy. Dr. Sana Shaimin. Dr. Shoaib Siddiqui, hooded by faculty. Dr. Annalise Silva, hooded by her father, Dr. Alvin Silva. Dr. Jackson Snyder, hooded by faculty, and one of our MDN3 graduates. Dr. Mariam Malik Solomon, hooded by faculty. Dr. Tiffany Spalding, hooded by her mentor, Dr. Kevin Watt. You're welcome. Dr. Ruth St. Fort, hooded by her sister, Dr. Lisa Mazet Sanzi. Dr. Wyatt Stahl, hooded by his mother, Dr. Marilyn Kindig. Dr. Olivia Stanforth, hooded by her father, Dr. David Stanforth. Dr. Alex Stanley, hooded by faculty. Dr. Nicholas Stewart, hooded by faculty. Dr. Andrew Testus, hooded by faculty. Dr. Chang Thomas, hooded by faculty. Dr. Aaron Timms, hooded by faculty. Dr. Chase Tyree, hooded by faculty. Dr. Nita Tofani, hooded by her father, Dr. Nazmuddin Tofani. Dr. Erickson John Toraba, also receiving his master's in pharmacology and toxicology, hooded by his significant other, Dr. Caitlin Pak. Dr. Estelle Vio-Mora, hooded by our mentor, Dr. Gideon King. Dr. Alex Volmar, who also received his master's in pharmacology and toxicology while here at Wright State, hooded by faculty. Dr. Daniel Vondervellen, hooded by faculty. Dr. Anthony Wiggins, hooded by faculty. Dr. Amanda Wilcox, hooded by faculty. Dr. Richard Whitty, hooded by faculty. Dr. Kevin Wu, hooded by faculty. Dr. Tia Wu, hooded by her grandfather, Dr. Narciso Aburasin. Dr. Hollis Young, hooded by her father-in-law, Dr. Thomas Burkert. I'm just waiting for a dramatic pause, sorry. You're the last one, so, okay. And last, but certainly not least, Dr. Sarah Yu, voted by faculty. I believe, Dr. Toussaint, they're yours. We're just moving the pages, right? Next page, next page. Nope, go back.
Oh, no.
You gotta go back. That's you. Yeah, okay, all right, cool.
Graduates, please rise. Dr. Ngozi Anachebe. Oh, we missed it. Oh, got it. Okay. Our Vice Dean for Educational Affairs will now lead you in the recitation of the oath. Dr. Anachebe.
Congratulations, class of 2024. I invite all physicians in the audience to stand in support of our new physicians and to join us as we recite the oath that is printed in your program. The rest of the audience may remain seated. Please recite with me. I swear to fulfill, to the best of my ability and judgment, this covenant. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those physicians in whose steps I walk, and gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow. I will apply for the benefit of the sick all measures which are required, avoiding those twin traps of overtreatment and therapeutic nihilism. I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug. I will not be ashamed to say, I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed for a patient's recovery. I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me that the world may know. Most especially must I tread with care in matters of life and death. Above all, I must not play God. I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart or a cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability. My responsibility includes these related problems if I am to care adequately for the sick. I will prevent disease whenever I can, but I will always look for a path to a cure for all diseases. I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings, those sound of mind and body as well as the infirm. If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art respected while I live and remembered with affection thereafter. May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help. Congratulations, class of 2024.
We're going to start the next part of the ceremony. Yeah. What's this say? Another 60 minutes to go? Is that right? All right, new physicians, please remain standing. Members in the audience, please be seated. It is my distinct privilege to present to you the Wright State University Boonshoft School of Medicine class of 2024.
This is what pediatrician hopping looks like. Thank you, everyone, again, for joining us today. And a special thank you to all of the staff and faculty who planned this year's event. This ends academic portion of our ceremony. Please remain seated. Not you guys, but everybody else, please remain seated until the entire recessional and platform party and students departs.